Alright everyone, welcome back to another Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes video with Fat Phil, and I feel like I need to apologize for a couple things. So, I'm gonna get into some things that I feel like I need to apologize for. I'm gonna try to explain myself a little bit here, but yeah, I'm a believer that you put your money where your mouth is, and that, when you do make a mistake or you get something wrong, you need to own up to it. So, I want to kind of do that with you guys here. I feel like not enough creators, and maybe I just I haven't been able to watch a ton of stuff. I've been super busy, but I feel like we need to call ourselves out when we get something wrong, because otherwise, I feel like that shows a side to me that I don't know that other people always get to see. So, calling myself out for this. Channel members, I appreciate all of you guys. Have not been able to get a title card for you. However, there is a channel members only video that will be launching sometime tomorrow. I'll make sure to get you guys out for that, giving you guys a bit more information. So, thank you guys again for continued support. So, let's kind of get into some things that I need to apologize for. So, number one is Conquest. I really thought this Conquest would be a lot more difficult, and so far it's proving to be pretty easy. I feel like there's a lot of feats that are very easy to cheese, that with minimal effort can be easily done. The Sector 3 boss, this 600, kill like 600 B1 battle droids. I mean, guys, they don't have an AoE ability. So, use that to your advantage. There's a lot of ways that I think we can cheese these feats, and we've seen a lot of videos come out about that. So, I feel like I owe you an apology that I maybe jumped the gun and said this would be the hardest Conquest ever. I think that Capital Games, I heard a bunch of people say, I wonder if they tone this down from the last Conquest, that they want to make sure that as many people can get Queen Amidala as possible. So, let me know how you guys are faring. But I feel I owe an apology because I think I don't know if oversold this Conquest or kind of was over negative about the feats, and I feel like they've been pretty doable. And I'll be completely honest. Now, I have obviously a larger account, but I have not really felt like I was ever in oh my gosh, this is miserable, this team is so hard. I just have not hit that in Conquest, where in previous iterations you'd hit that and you're like, oh my gosh, this is insane. So yeah, I definitely think I owe an apology on Conquest. So the next thing I feel I owe an apology for is live streaming. I really haven't got to do a lot of live streams. I apologize. This month I really thought would be a lot better for me, and it just has been busy all over. And I feel bad because live streams are, one, they're a great way for me to interact with you guys. They're a great way for you guys to get to see me. I know you love the roster reviews. Getting to watch a GAC live is a lot of fun. So I do apologize. I ask for your continued patience, guys. I recognize that I am human, and I think I needed to definitely recharge a little bit after the whole free-to-play account thing, where I shouldn't even say free-to-play account, the alt account I had started. So I appreciate you guys continuing to stay with me, and I feel like I owe you an apology for not being able to deliver on the promise to do more live streams, because, that's just not okay. And then the last thing I feel like I need to apologize for is I don't know that I really explained to the fullest extent of what my farming thoughts were for 2024. So, as I head into 2024, the more I've been here, the more I was like, man, I really need to explain why I'm doing the things that I am. So, let's go back to 2023. I developed a lot of height. For those of you who've never heard me use these terms height and width before, height comes from building, Galactic Legends and the Riva and big ticket Omicrons. That's height, right? It increases the, hey, I just got Jedi Master Kenobi. That makes my defense and offense able to be better, right? That now my opponent has to have a GL to beat that team, or I bring it on offense and I'm going to be beating teams that I wasn't beating before. That's what height is. Height is basically saying that now I'm in a different level, that I can kill a higher caliber team with this. So Sith Eternal is somebody who doesn't quite give as much height as, say, a Kenobi or Jabba would. And so I did a lot of that in 2023. And it paid off. I feel like I showed that, yeah, this was working. But I noticed that getting into 2024, I was really struggling with width. I was losing a lot of Grand Arenas, or Grand Arenas were a lot closer than they should have been, because I didn't have that width. I had all the GLs to play with, but I didn't have the width. I couldn't compete with some of these accounts who had Cal and Trench and, everybody else, right? Like, I just was missing out on these things. So, again, I feel like I didn't describe this enough, that in 2024, what you can expect is a lot of width from me. That what I'm going to try and do is build out those other parts of the account that were neglected, like Admiral Trench and Cal, and even like Dark Trooper Gideon now. All these teams that initially I had just kind of sitting there, or, maybe with nothing on them, or they weren't even in the game yet. But that, I'm trying to develop this width. I'm trying to make my defense and offense a lot more dynamic to give me more options in both Grand Arena and Territory Wars. So, kind of the next part of this thing where I say, like, I don't know that I've talked about, oh, yeah, I'm going to, spend gear and all this stuff, but, I'm very low on Zetas, as you guys know. But I don't think what I fully articulated was that the teams that I would be investing stuff into would be ones that obviously have their Zeta already. But, again, it would also be about filling holes, filling gaps, getting my account to a point where there is more width to it. Because if I continue to trend the way that I am, I won't be able to beat accounts who have less height than me but have a lot more width. Because height only works to the extent that you can pull something off or get a good defensive stop, there's all that. All right, so relic increases. I just wanted to say this here. I apologize that I'm having to do these via like videos and not on live streams for you guys, but keep your eyes open on some live streams. I definitely have some relic increases I would like to get to at some point. Some of these characters are going to be relic 8, some will be maybe a relic 5, and others would go to like relic 7. And I just have a couple examples here. But what you have to understand, because a lot of people are like, Phil, why did you take Admiral Trench to relic 7? For me, what it comes down to is banking very heavily on the raid and his ship, but also just looking at it from the perspective that, unfortunately, my account is at a point where I need those high relic levels. And so kind of when I say like, hey, I need to spend the gear to get these guys, I then need to make sure that their relic levels are appropriate for the level that I'm playing at. Because for a long time, I would just take them to bare minimum relics. I'd maybe get them relic 3 or a relic 4. Or there's some people who are relic 2. I feel like I need to start acting like I'm a Kyber 1 player. Or, Kyber 1, Kyber 2 player, depending on where I fall. So that's relic increases. And then finally, the last thing that I feel I need to apologize for is that I feel like I watch so many of you guys go into the Discord server and you search up my mods. But you search on characters, and I just have these guys as examples. The supporting cast. My supporting cast mods are not that great. More often than not, those mods are on that character simply because they need to go on someone. Maybe they help a little bit, maybe they don't. So, in 2024, I feel like I need to work on the supporting cast mods. And I owe you guys that apology that I haven't been able to really give you guys good information on what the best mods are for these characters. Because I just haven't had a good time to develop amazing sets for them. So, that's the end of the video. Let me know your thoughts. Again, I love you all. May the Force be with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers, my friends.